As the lion approached the buffalo, his amber eyes gleaming with predatory focus, he had no idea that he was walking into a trap. He had stalked this prey for a while, carefully following its tracks and anticipating his next move. He thought he was 10 steps ahead of the buffalo. Little did he know, the buffalo knew his every move. In the heart of the golden savanna, where the grass sways like waves under the burning sun, there was a lone buffalo standing majestically, its large head held high, dark eyes scanning the horizon. It was a magnificent creature, strong and proud, a true ruler of the grasslands. The buffalo had been grazing peacefully, seemingly unaware of the danger lurking in the tall grass nearby. Its thick fur shone like polished mahogany in the afternoon sun, and its muscular body stood as a testament to its enduring strength. The buffalo was old, wise, and respected by all who crossed its path. It was a leader, a protector, and it carried the scars of many battles on its broad shoulders. Suddenly, a low growl rumbled in the distance, a sound that sent shivers down the spines of the peaceful herbivores. The lion was coming. The lion emerged from the tall grass, a picture of raw power and grace. His golden fur shimmered like molten gold, and his emerald eyes blazed with the thrill of the hunt. His muscular body was a well-oiled machine, perfectly adapted for speed and strength. The lion had been tracking this buffalo for hours, and his patience was starting to wear thin. He was hungry, and he could smell the taste of victory on the wind. He crouched low to the ground, his tail twitching in anticipation. It was time to strike. The lion charged, his powerful legs propelling him forward with incredible speed. He let out a deafening roar that echoed across the savanna, a primal scream that announced his presence to all who heard it. The buffalo raised its head and stared at the lion, its dark eyes unwavering. It had sensed the lion's approach long ago, and it had prepared for this moment. The buffalo snorted, sending a spray of grass clippings into the air, and it lowered its massive horns, ready to defend itself. The lion pounced, his claws extended, aiming for the buffalo's throat. The buffalo twisted, avoiding the lion's grasp, and its horns gored the lion's shoulder, sending him sprawling to the ground. The lion snarled, shaking off the pain. He wasn't used to being injured, but he wouldn't let this setback defeat him. The buffalo stood over the lion, its horns lowered, ready to strike again. But before it could make its move, the lion was back on his feet, shaking the dirt from his fur. This game of cat and mouse had been going on for days, and the lion was getting frustrated. He needed to end this quickly. The buffalo was tiring, and the lion could sense its exhaustion. With a burst of speed, the lion closed the distance between them. And in a flash of teeth and claws, the lion had the buffalo by the throat. The buffalo struggled, but the lion's grip was like iron. The buffalo's legs gave way, and it collapsed to the ground. The lion's roar echoed across the savanna as he claimed his victory. He had won the battle, but he didn't realize that he had just made a huge mistake. The lion had killed the leader of the buffalo herd, and he was about to find out what that meant. As the lion dragged the buffalo's body into the tall grass, he felt a sense of triumph. He had made a clean kill, and he was about to enjoy a well-earned meal. But as he started to feast, he didn't notice the angry eyes watching him from the shadows. From the highest point in the savanna, the bird had witnessed the entire battle between the lion and the buffalo. And when it saw the lion dragging the dead buffalo into the tall grass, it knew that it had to warn the rest of the herd. The bird let out a shrill cry, a call to arms that echoed across the savanna. The bird flew low to the ground, keeping out of the lion's sight, and it raced toward the buffalo herd. As the bird flew, the lion ate, his mind focused on his meal. He didn't hear the approaching footsteps or the rustling in the grass. He was too focused on his food. The lion was so engrossed in his meal that he didn't notice the change in the wind. He didn't feel the shift in the atmosphere or the sudden hush that had fallen over the savanna. He was oblivious to the danger that was closing in on him. The buffalo herd was approaching fast, their massive bodies thundering across the savanna like a wall of muscle and rage. They were angry, and they were coming for the lion. The bird landed on a nearby tree and watched as the buffalo surrounded the lion. The bird knew that the lion was in trouble, but it couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. The lion had killed the buffalo's leader, and now the buffalo were taking their revenge. The lion finally looked up, his eyes narrowing as he saw the buffalo closing in on him. He had been caught off guard, and now he was in trouble. The lion tried to rise to his feet, but it was too late. The buffalo were upon him, their horns lowered, their eyes blazing with fury. The lead buffalo stepped forward, his massive horns glinting in the sunlight. He was the biggest, strongest buffalo in the herd, and he was leading the charge. The lead buffalo charged forward, his horns lowered, and the lion tried to dodge out of the way, but he was too slow. The lead buffalo's horns caught him on the side, sending him crashing to the ground. The lion snarled, but he knew that he was in trouble. The other buffalo joined the attack, their horns and hooves pounding the lion's body like hammers on an anvil. The lion tried to block the attacks, but he was outnumbered and outmatched. The buffalo kept coming, wave after wave of angry, determined beasts. The lion was overwhelmed. The lion was trapped in a nightmare. The buffalo kept coming, their strength and unity overwhelming him. The lion was losing the battle, and he knew it. He was injured, exhausted, and surrounded by angry opponents who refused to give up. He had to escape, but how? As the buffalo attacked, the lion searched for an escape. He scanned the area, desperate to find a way out, but he couldn't see any. The buffalo had surrounded him completely, and the tall grass offered little visibility. He was trapped, and the odds were stacked against him. The lion tried to fight back, lashing out with his paws and claws, but his attacks were ineffective against the buffalo's thick hide. The buffalo kept coming, their horns and hooves relentless in their assault. The lion was exhausted, and his strength was waning. He was losing the battle, and soon he would lose more than just the fight. As the buffalo kept attacking, the lion knew he had to make a move. He couldn't hold out much longer, and he needed a way to escape. Suddenly, he spotted a gap in the buffalo's ranks. It was small, but it was enough. The lion lunged for the opening, squeezing through the tight space with a burst of adrenaline. The buffalo were taken aback by the lion's sudden movement. They hadn't seen the opening that he had exploited, and they weren't prepared for his quick getaway. The lion didn't hesitate. He dashed away from the scene of the battle, his heart pounding in his chest. As the lion ran, he heard the buffalo pursuing him. Their angry bellows echoed across the savanna, and their heavy footsteps pounded the ground behind him. He could feel their hot breath on his neck, but he kept running. The lion didn't dare look back. He knew that the buffalo were gaining on him, and he had to keep moving. He ran until his lungs were burning, and his muscles screamed for mercy, but he couldn't stop, not now. Not when the buffalo were so close behind him. The lion's legs pumped, his paws hitting the ground with powerful thuds. He could hear the buffalo closing in, their determination evident in their heavy breathing. The lion had to find a way to shake them off, but he couldn't think of anything. Just when the lion thought he might collapse from exhaustion, he saw a thicket of tall trees in the distance. With a burst of energy, he veered off course and headed for the trees. The lion ducked under the branches, weaving through the thick foliage. The trees provided cover, and the buffalo couldn't follow him. The lion slowed down, his body aching, his breath heavy. He had lost the battle, but he had won the war. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the savanna, the lion limped away from the scene of the battle. He was battered, bruised, and defeated, but he was alive. The lion had learned a valuable lesson that day. Pride isn't always a good thing. Sometimes it can lead to arrogance and overconfidence. The lion had paid the price for his pride, and he would never forget it. As the night descended, the lion retreated to the safety of his pride. He was wounded and ashamed, and he needed their support. The lion's pride welcomed him back, tending to his wounds and offering comfort. They understood that he had made a mistake, and they were there to help him recover. The lion's pride was his support system, his family, and he was grateful for their love and acceptance. The next morning, the lion awoke with a renewed sense of purpose. He was still sore from his encounter with the buffalo, but his wounds were healing. He knew that he had made a mistake, and he was determined to make amends. The lion approached the buffalo herd cautiously. He was still wary of their power and unity, but he needed to apologize. The buffalo regarded the lion with suspicion. They were still angry over the loss of their leader, and they weren't ready to forgive the lion. The lion lowered his head in submission, acknowledging his guilt. He had killed their leader, and he owed them an apology. The lion spoke in a low, remorseful voice, expressing his sorrow for his actions. He admitted his mistake and asked for forgiveness. The buffalo were silent, digesting the lion's apology. They knew that the lion was powerful and dangerous, but they also knew that he was remorseful. After a long pause, the lead buffalo spoke up, his voice deep and resonant. He told the lion that they accepted his apology, but they would never forget what he had done. The buffalo were willing to forgive the lion, but they also knew that they had to be cautious. The lion was still a predator, and they were still prey, and their instincts told them to be wary. The lion nodded, understanding the buffalo's response. He knew that he had to earn their trust back, and he was willing to do whatever it took. From that day on, the lion became an ally of the buffalo, helping them defend themselves against predators and protecting them from harm. The buffalo, in turn, taught the lion valuable lessons about humility and respect. Together, they formed an unlikely alliance, united by their shared experiences and their commitment to justice. And so the tale of the lion and the buffalo became a legend in the savannah, a story passed down from generation to generation, reminding all who heard it that pride and arrogance can lead to downfall, but humility and respect can lead to redemption.